Hello and welcome to the Basic Facts today. Today I'll be delving into a simple and financial asset planning essential to protect your assets and your beneficiaries' interests. So without much ado, let's start. When the bank is notified of the demise of its clients, the bank immediately freezes the account of the deceased. This ensures that not even the spouse of the deceased, nor in fact anyone, can have access to the funds in that account without going through the probate process to obtain a letter of administration. The probate process can be expensive, it can be stressful, and it can be a drawn-out process. But there are simple ways to bypass the probate and ensure a seamless transfer of assets to beneficiaries with a little tweak to your account. Setting up a POD. A POD stands for Payable on Debt, and a POD is a legal designation for monies in your bank account to transfer seamlessly. Simply adding a POD deed to an account allows one's beneficiary access to the funds in the account upon their demise. Setting up a POD is free and it's easy. In fact, it's as easy as simply filling out and signing a beneficiary designation form. This form is also known as a Payable on Debt form. Most banks will have you fill out this form online. However, some banks might request that the document be signed in person, and some may yet request that the form be notarized. Some more key points to note are that, number one, having a POD set up in an account is not the same thing as having a joint account. In other words, setting up a POD in your account does not make the beneficiary or the beneficiaries signatories or co-owners of the account. Number two, having a POD set up in an account does not give the beneficiary any right to the account while the account owner leaves. The account is only accessible to the beneficiary upon the passing of the owner. Number three, a POD deed is revocable, so an account owner can choose to revoke or update it at any time. Next, let's talk about the TOD. A TOD stands for Transfer on Debt, and a TOD has similar setup requirements as the POD. However, the difference is that while the POD applies to your bank or your cash account, a TOD is a legal designation for investment accounts like your retirement accounts, your 401ks, your brokerage accounts, and other holding security and investment portfolio, which also includes real estate. A TOD deed allows these assets to legally pass directly to the named beneficiary or beneficiaries upon the owner's passing. Setting up a TOD is easy and simply requires filling out a beneficiary designation form with your stockbroker or your investment broker. Just like the POD, the TOD is revocable, so you can change your mind at any time to revoke or to update the deed. Other key considerations for a TOD are: number one, the legal rights. A TOD does not give the beneficiary or beneficiaries any legal right to the asset while the owner of the asset is alive. Number two, the asset only transfers to the beneficial owner upon the passing of the original owner. First, even if the account owner becomes incapacitated and a need for money arises, even if the need is for the medical treatment of the account owner or the stock owner, the TOD deeds, just like the POD, would still not take effect while the owner is alive. Number three, if the asset is jointly owned, the deed only takes effect after the last owner or co-owner passes. Number four, debt is transferable. Thus, as the asset or property passes directly to the beneficiary, any debt or mortgage that was tied to the assets transfers along with the property. Other key considerations that will apply to the TOD as well as to the POD accounts are: number one, disclosure. It is not mandatory to inform your beneficiaries about the existence of the deed. However, I consider it good practice, especially for significant assets, to let your beneficiary or beneficiaries, or perhaps a family advocate, know as to the existence of the deeds. Number two, consider naming an alternate beneficiary in case the primary beneficiary does not outlive the owner. Finally, remember that laws may vary by state or by location. For example, some states require a TOD deed for real estate to be registered with the county land record office to be considered valid. So be sure to understand the requirements in your location or in your state as you set up the deeds to save your loved ones time, stress, and money. Remember, a stitch in time saves lives. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.